You're listening to the Jed James podcast. Today's guest is Jai Goodwin. Jai has not only changed the lives of many others through support work, but also has an incredible story on how he's changed the life of his own. Jai, how you going, brother?
Yeah, good, Brazzy. Glad to be here. Glad to be here. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So kind of jump on a podcast and hopefully we can kind of build off the back of that into the future, eh, Brazzy?
Yeah. I'm excited to have you on, bro. It was funny because when I was looking at potential guests to come on the podcast, I already thought of you. I don't know you on a personal level,
Yeah.
but I know that you're not the person that you used to be in the past. And what I mean by that is I know how fitness driven you are now, and you're always at the gym, and you're always on your Instagram, and you're striving to do this better, and you're kicking goals. And yeah, it was funny because I wanted to get you on the podcast, and I had your name written down to reach out to you, and you reach out to me, and you're like, bro, get me on the podcast. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, 100%, man. So again, I was just kind of sitting on Instagram, and I probably do that too much, bro. But I was looking through kind of like the notifications, and it come up that I hadn't that you'd followed, and I was like, why didn't I see this before? And I hit follow, and then I messaged you, and you were like, man, this is what I've wanted to reach out to you for a bit. So I am grateful for that, Brazzy. I'm very grateful. And thank you for that intro. It's very nice, my man. I think with what you just spoke about, like my fitness and all that type of thing, it's a bit of a, I don't want to say an obsessive way, but maybe that whole kind of like ADHD thing. I can't
yeah,
can't sit still. That's me as a person, bro. And if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And yeah, I have, bro. So I mean, we'll dive into that through
yeah,
this body. Keen?
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
sick, bro.
keen, bro. I'm
Yeah,
keen to hear.
mad, mad.
Um, yeah, do you feel like an idea or something that you want comes up in on your mind, and you fixate yourself on it?
Yep,
Yeah,
100%, bro.
yeah,
100%. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in life, and I never ever want to have like a overinflated ego or even stroke anyone else's ego. But um, I'm a type of kind of person who, if I have a dollar, bro, I can turn that dollar into 100, that 100 into 1,000, and then hopefully that 1,000 into 100,000, and who knows where that goes from. So that's what I've always kind of strived to do. I've always done little odds and ends to get by, lawn mowing, and then yeah, kind of like retail and all that type of stuff. So, but it's just a reflection of how my mind is. My education wise, not very good through school. Didn't really go to school too much, like through primary, high school. I think I made it to year 9, repeated year 9, and then just left. So I didn't
yeah,
even, yeah. But school isn't everything for people, or well, some people. And like even to my life today, I'm okay. I'm
yeah.
okay in
You're
my
doing all
profession.
right.
I am,
Yeah.
bro.
Do you think if you dabble in multiple different things a little bit, like how you mentioned with the lawn mowing, and
Mm.
you've done this and that,
Mm-hmm.
that also gives you a little bit more freedom to
Mm-hmm.
do what you want?
Exactly.
Because I know for myself, and like I've done the same career for the past 10 years, and I have really felt stuck. And because the longer I've been in it, the harder I feel it has been to change, because I've been doing the same thing that whole
Yeah.
time. So, and plus there's a loyalty towards my boss. But
Mm-hmm.
I suppose in your case, the more like you try in
Mm-hmm.
different things, that's also building up your confidence to try
Yes.
something else new.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly, man. Like spot on, spot on. And a reflection of what you just said. You've done the same thing for what 10 years. That's what you're comfortable doing. But look where we're sitting now, bro. You
Yeah,
know, this is again. You know, you have social media and all these platforms, and there's so much to do with it. You know, this is a little side hustle, but where does that little side hustle go?
yeah,
You just don't know, bro.
yeah. Well,
You know.
it's an important when you view social media more as a tool,
Mm.
because for a long time, just like yourself, how you said that you get stuck on Instagram and you're just scrolling through the, yeah, I am bad for it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I started following people that were inspiring me and
Yeah.
constantly diving into their content, they're
Mm-hmm.
like, I can do that as well.
100% you
I
can.
can I can use this.
100% you can.
Yeah,
100%. And yeah, no, that's it can be a really good thing, bro. And obviously with good things, there's always negative things, but it
yeah,
is what it is. And I guess like if you use it to the best of your ability, which is, you know, I see you doing that right now. Let's go.
yeah, yeah.
That's it, bro. That's it.
Um, what what did the old dry look like?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
And what I don't only mean
Mm-hmm.
visually,
Okay.
I mean
Yeah.
mentally.
Good question, bro. So I'll strip it right back and obviously myself and you. I'm pretty sure you grew up in the same area I did,
Yeah,
right? I remember a young Jed, maybe like 12 or 13, playing at St John's Rhinos. Is
yeah.
that right?
Oh, nah, nah,
Nah,
nah.
whereabouts, bro? Where would I have seen you?
Oh,
Did you ever play footy?
no, I didn't.
Huh.
I used. I
Interesting. Yeah,
rem-
right.
I remember bodyboarding and seeing you
Ah,
bodyboarding when I was young.
yeah,
Yeah, I
right.
was a
100.
fat, chubby little
Yeah,
kid.
well,
Like,
that's
yeah,
but again, that doesn't doesn't define who we are now. But yeah, no. So myself and you, obviously, we're kind of from the same area. We've both had same interests. But myself, bro, I was always taller than like my peers. It probably wasn't until I was about 10 years old where that tallness, the girthiness started to come out. Right,
yeah,
so from like 10, I was noticeably bigger than the other kids, height and width.
yeah,
And then all the way from like yeah, like I said, like all the way from 10 through my teen years, I was like very obese. Through my early 20s. Wasn't until pretty much I moved out of home, bro, down to where I am now. And it wasn't until I like moved out of that home environment where I stopped eating a lot of like mashed potato, mince, cabbage, all that type of stuff, right?
yeah,
And kind of got my own independence, and that's where my maturity really grew. Um, in 2018, I I was with my partner, so I proposed to her, right?
yeah,
And that gave me a purpose, bro, because you want to look the best on your wedding day, right? And we set a date, and that both gave us purpose, bro. And pretty much how I lost all my weight was I started riding my bike to work twice a week.
yeah,
And it's funny. I reflect back to your Q&A question about your first potty, right? And you were saying about the calorie deficit,
yeah,
and it is a good way. Probably not sustainable over a long period of time, but if you want to lose weight, you know, don't worry about all these magic potions that the shops want to sell you. It's literally, how do you put it? It's literally you have to burn more energy than what you're putting in, and I had a lot of energy to lose, and it just fell off me, bro.
yeah,
So I started riding my bike to work twice a week, and then people started noticing, like, wow, like you look like you've lost weight. My mind again, I was like, oh, okay. I started doing it 4 times a week. And then I'd throw in like maybe twice a month a 20K ride. So 40Ks all up. I would do that twice a month. and it literally just fell off me. Hey, so I went from, bro, probably 150 kilos, man, at my biggest.
Yeah.
Um, and then by my wedding, I was 92 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
That's incredible.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, it was cool, man. It was very cool. It's funny. I was a big boy, but I held my weight reasonably well. I've always kind of like played touch footy, Oz tag, surfed, fished. I was still able to do all that.
Yeah.
No one really ever came to me and they were like, "Oh, Joe, far out, man. You probably got to lose some weight." But on the reverse, when I got to that 92 kilos, because people weren't used to seeing me at that size, they'll come up to me and they'll go, "Bro, you look pretty skinny. Hey, you look like you got like AIDS or cancer or
Yeah.
something like that." It was such a surreal, weird thing. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah. So
That's it's hard, hey.
yeah, it is, bro.
Hearing comments like that from
Mm.
people after you've worked so hard on yourself, it's like kick me while I'm down.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I I had similar
Mm.
um things that were said to me even just recently.
Yeah.
Um yeah, like you look like you're sick,
Mm.
you look really gaunt, um you look like a skeleton.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's hard to hear
it
when
is.
you're at your healthiest version that
I
you've
know.
ever been,
I know.
and just because someone's used to seeing you at your unhealthy
Mm.
version, and now they've got these negative things to say, and be like, "Hang on, you weren't calling me fatty, you
That's
weren't calling
right.
me obese,
That's
you
right.
you're never saying anything like that before.
100%.
So
I
why would
know.
you say that to me now?"
I know.
Yeah,
It probably shocked me more than someone saying like, "Oh, bruh, you're fat." Like
yeah,
I was like, "Yeah," but is what it is. And I think like from that point, after my wedding, enjoyed the honeymoon and kind of ate what I wanted. From there, bro, my weight, I'm sitting at about 101 kilos right now. I'm an open book, bro, and
yeah,
I'll talk.
yeah,
So I do. I can talk underwater to fish, I reckon. But I went from that, and I stopped riding my bike a bit. And I've always had this fascination of having one rep on the bench press at 100 kilos. I could never get it. Hey,
yeah,
yeah. So that was something I put my mind to, and I worked for that for like 12 months. Started looking into supplementation and creatine, and I was like, "Oh, creatine, what's that?" That's the safest supplement you can use, and it was good. Kind of put a little bit of water in. I wouldn't be able to break down the compounds and what it does to you, but it put a little bit of fullness into my body and a bit of strength, and my one rep was at about 90 kilos there, right? And it pushed it up to maybe like 93 with the use of creatine and that type of thing. Um, Off the back of that, bro, I started looking into more supplementation, right? And I've seen these thing called SARMs, so selective androgen receptive modulators. I think it's called. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, um, I jumped on that thing, and again, it was I put on muscle. I gained some strength, and yeah, it was a funny thing, and because I was always scared, bro. At my weight, I didn't even really want to like mess with like pre workout and all that because I just had this thought like, you've got a lot of load on you. Don't
yeah,
You don't want to put too much more load on yourself. But once I was comfortable where my body was at, and yeah, I started like supplementing with things, and the SARMs was good. Kind of done what I needed to do. Um, but I still didn't fully get that one goal that I was after.
yeah,
Um, and like I believe like a lot of the stuff I see and I'll talk to people about is just maybe like that bro science, I guess, or whatever. It's just stuff I've consumed through platforms, right? But I've seen things like as men these days, our testosterone levels is way lower than what it would be in our grandfather's day. So
yeah.
Yeah, I went to the doctor, bro, got my bloods done, and lo and behold, my test was lower. It wasn't enough to like give me anything, but it was below what my age group should be. So he didn't give me anything, so I
Yeah.
kind of sourced it myself,
S-
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably wouldn't. You run, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't say to you as a runner, go and mess around with that because it's only going to make you heavy and probably not be able to run as
What's
good as good. Yeah,
how? So you're taking tests now.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
What do you feel the difference has been since you've been using that?
I've been on it for a couple of years, so I will. So the first thing is like, again, when you say that word steroid, right, automatically my mind goes to those big juiced up jacked guys, right? And yeah, they're probably taking steroids, but they'll take compound on top of compound on top of compound. They'll take testosterone. They might take Anavar, Winstrol, Trenbolone. That's where it becomes dangerous. And don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here and preaching that you can live on testosterone for the rest of your life. Definitely not. But that's the dangerous side, and that's where those, I believe, my opinion is, that's where I believe those big bloody crazy looking dudes get that look jack. But me personally, again, I'm an open book, bro. So that first round of tests that I started messing with, my libido went whoa, straight through the roof, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the first thing I noticed in about the first 8 weeks.
Yep.
After that, it settled down. My energy, my recovery was so much more far superior to what it was. And I think like what happens is because you're recovering faster, therefore you can spend more time in the gym, and that's where them gains and stuff are
Yeah.
going to come. Hey,
Can build the muscle faster.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You still have to, you can't just rely on supplement to give you everything. You can't. You still got to be pretty strict. I mean,
Yeah.
you hear things of like a dirty bulk, and maybe that's maybe okay for like a 20-year-old to do, but for like a 35-year-old man to do that, it's just going
Yeah.
to go straight to my hips, bro, and I don't
Yeah.
want that, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I'm at in life, and
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel good. So
That's
yeah.
good to hear. Yeah, I feel there is a lot of misconception around
Mm,
people using
yeah,
test,
yeah.
and um, I don't know if you watch the UFC or not, but
Mm,
there's a UFC fighter named Cowboy,
yeah. Okay.
Donald Cerrone.
Yeah, yeah. I'm familiar.
So he took a break recently. He come off a few losses,
Mm-hmm.
and his body was just wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
And he started taking test
Mm-hmm.
and basically recovered
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
got his body back to
Yeah.
where it's supposed to be
Yeah.
using that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like he's trying to, and he was open about it on
Mm,
Instagram as well.
mm, mm.
It's not like he's trying to get big and muscly.
No.
He's just trying to get his body back to where it needed to be.
100%.
So yeah, he's done that, and now he's coming back into the UFC. He's
Yes,
not on it anymore because that's I'm
against
pretty
their thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
right,
banned substance.
right.
But
Yeah,
but
okay.
yeah, so
Do you think like in due time, once your kids are settled down and you've had your kids or whatever, do you ever think like, let's say you're 45 or whatever, you're knocking on 50, do you ever think it's something that you may cross paths with one day that
yeah, potentially.
bring your youth back?
Yeah, well, at this point in my life, I'm on this path of wanting my body to be
Mm,
the best that it can be,
mm,
and
admirable.
I want to be the fittest,
Mm,
strongest
mm,
father for my kids.
mm.
Um, yeah, so that sort of yeah,
No.
that's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a tough.
It's a tough one because yeah,
Yeah,
I really do.
yeah, yeah,
Like some people say, yeah, like I want to be healthy for my kids or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah, yeah,
like if you really want to be, in my opinion,
yeah,
a great father for your kids,
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah, for sure, bro.
you need to lead by example.
Exactly right, and that's good. That's good, bro. Yeah, no, I mean, I mean, when that day comes, bro, ring me up and you say, "Hey, 50-year-old Jed here, bro," and I'm feeling 25.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
yeah, for
I'm
sure,
back to
bro.
my old ways.
Yeah, ooh,
Yeah,
dangerous,
yeah,
Jed.
yeah. Um, it's just the whole yeah,
Misconception.
yeah. There's a
Yeah,
misconception
yeah,
around it.
100%, 100%.
Yeah,
But no, no. I mean, yeah, like I don't condone or like it could be very easily abused, and it is, bro. But yeah, I'm open. But I mean, yeah, where like I said, my life over the years has changed, and I reckon I will try and continue on that road. It's a funny one. In that question you asked, physically the change, massive. Mentally, I didn't really. I thought I was going to feel better mentally,
yeah,
being like able to lose or being like skinny and confident or whatever.
yeah.
I don't really feel any different, bro. My mind
No,
still works the same way
the same
as
way it did
yeah, bro.
before. Yeah,
100%,
yeah,
100%. And it's a I think maybe it's like a lesson to, you want to set a standard for yourself, but if you set that standard so high, right, and you don't reach that standard, it's only going to have like a negative, it may push you into a negative thought process of like,
yeah,
oh, I don't want to swear, but oh, damn, like I didn't reach it.
yeah,
So I think like if you don't set your standards too high,
yeah.
you
That's a
know.
great way to look at it.
Yeah.
A lot of people, including myself,
Mm.
struggle with something called body dysmorphia.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask,
Yep.
so you losing
Mm-hmm.
pretty much 60 kilos
Mm-hmm.
and being who you are now, like you look
Yeah.
fantastic, by the
Thank you.
way.
Thank you.
Um,
Grateful.
do you still see yourself as a bigger person, or do you see yourself as this more muscly, confident, like jacked looking person now?
um, I know the physical appearance is different. I've had people like, how do I put it? I've had females like so currently cruising right. So I've had females kind of say, you're hot or you're good looking. I don't take them compliments very well.
Yeah,
But that's something myself I need to. I've never taken compliments very well. To answer that question, yeah, that body dysmorphia it's a real thing. But again, you're always comparing yourself. And I heard Sean kind of say the last potty that I just listened to is when you start comparing yourself to everyone else. That's not it's a hard thing not to do, but you should try and not do that, eh?
yeah, it's very toxic.
It is, it is, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, in short, real thing. How you combat it, I don't
yeah,
know.
just keep going.
That's it, brah. That's
Yeah,
it. You keep running them. You keep getting them steps in, eh?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I've been seeing that, bro. And right now, me, like I said, I'm sitting at about 101 kilos. I reckon I need to, if I want to run, I need to pull back and probably lose maybe 4 kilos to
yeah,
feel good
yeah.
running. So, what's your goal, bro? Like, how is it a marathon, half marathon? What's the go?
Yeah, I'm doing a full marathon.
Wow. So what's it? Break
And
it down for me, bro, because I don't know how far is a
so,
marathon.
so a full marathon is 42.2 kilometers.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, so obviously
Mm.
half 21.1.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say probably about maybe 2 years ago or so, roughly, I
Yeah.
started diving into running a bit
Yeah.
and noticed that I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I did my first ever half marathon 2 years ago, I believe, which was
Mm-hmm.
called the Kiama Coastal Classic,
Okay.
and extremely unprepared for it, and that was extremely difficult.
Yeah. Right.
Um, but yeah, now I can run a half marathon with ease.
Would you
So
do? Would you do like a half marathon? How many times a month would you do that? Like,
uh,
if you were going to do it, or
at the
do
moment
another
with
one?
training,
Yeah.
4 times a month,
Wow,
roughly.
bro. That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Even like 5Ks to me seems like mind blowing.
yeah,
Like, yeah, but I've never really kind of been into that slow, not slow, I guess, but that longer distance kind of stuff.
yeah,
What are you finding, bro? Like, as in, where's your aches? And because I again, I've been seeing your story about like your hip.
yeah.
What about your feet, bro?
My feet are sweet. See,
Are
this
they?
is um I think I did myself an injustice and got new shoes that were different to my last ones. And
Yeah,
since then, I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but
yeah.
my feet aren't sore whatsoever, but the rest of my body is paying for it.
Okay, okay.
So
Yeah, interesting.
I'm
Okay,
not sure if that's just a coincidence or not.
yeah. I'd love to. I don't know where you would go to do this, but I imagine like, is it what's it called? Australian Institute of Sport. I feel like it'd be something you'd be able to do there or something. Like
Yeah,
have like what are they called? Like slow motion cameras, like track your to see how you run, see how much your heel strikes the ground, and
yeah,
yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And then change like maybe like a small 0.5% on how you step, and that 0.5% is why your hips getting sore or something.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
really analyze it.
I'll tell you something really interesting.
Yeah.
Yesterday afternoon, I put on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
The Diary of a CEO podcast came on, and he was talking to a sports injury doctor,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And talking about running.
Yeah. Right.
And she said that runners who only run are really likely to get a lot of injuries.
Yeah. Okay.
And guess what? I haven't been doing since I've been running lately?
What?
Lifting weights.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Strengthening that core
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah. Okay.
And the glutes and all the
Yeah.
rest of it.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like I've done myself a bit of a
Injustice.
injustice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Recently.
So can you combat that? Can you? I mean, like with running, I suppose you don't want to carry like too much weight and
Yeah.
stuff like that, eh? So I mean, can you just kind of do really light weighted squats or deadlifts or
Yeah.
to just
Well,
keep that strength in it? Or
yeah. Well, what I'm going to try and do is
mm,
strengthen my glutes
mm,
because, yeah, when they were speaking about it on this podcast I was listening to, they said that your glutes are extremely important to be strong because
mm,
when you're running,
mm,
you've got only one foot on the ground at a
mm.
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
When you're walking, it doesn't really matter because you've got both feet on the ground at the same time.
yeah, right.
So you're in balance the whole time
Yeah, yeah,
when
yeah,
you're running
yeah,
if something is off.
yeah,
So
yeah,
each time for me it's my left side. Each time
yeah.
I'm stepping on my
Okay.
left side and the other leg's off the ground, I'm imbalanced
Yeah,
because one side, my glute, is a lot weaker than my right side.
exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly. Again, our bodies are such amazing things because, like, something that's hurting in your shoulder, it might be in your hamstring or something, right?
yeah,
It's
it could be linked to
crazy, bro.
somewhere
Yeah,
else. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. That pain is coming out in a different spot. Never knew that until I kind of started going to the gym and all that type of stuff, bro. But yeah, yeah. Like we are touching on that whole weight loss thing. It's been an amazing journey. That whole mental side is like, I'll put it this way: if I eat, like, I'm partial to a pie, bro.
yeah,
I love pies.
yeah,
There was like maybe like a couple of months ago, there was like a couple of times during the 1 week I was visiting the bakery a bit too much.
yeah,
I'll start to get this mindset of like, fuck, bro, stop, like,
yeah,
but you kind of have to enjoy it a bit, hey? Yeah, yeah. Satay
yeah,
chicken pie at South Narra there, bro. You
yeah,
ever down that neck of the woods?
yeah.
Better than Hayden's.
I do love satay chicken as
Do
well.
ya?
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
I'll
Yeah.
have to stop in there and try it.
Next to Bunnings.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, so I mean, like, we grew up in the same town. I don't know, like, I don't know what your like childhood was like. I know what mine like was like, and I don't mind like touching on it, man. It
yeah,
was I feel like my childhood was kind of like a thing of generational trauma, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, I look at my mum, so like her parents passed away when she was, I think her dad passed away, bro, when she was one, maybe one and a half. And then her mum passed away when she was three.
Yeah.
so in turn, bro, it's a thing of like um, her sister, who we call Nan, she stepped in and raised my mum, her own daughter Kylie, and then my auntie Donna. She raised those three. So all of our siblings from those three women we call Nanny Judy, our Nan.
Yeah.
Um, but in turn, she had her own issues. She was on the drugs,
Yeah.
alcohol, and I think she would just medicate that way, bro, through drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
yeah, trying to mask the situation, because that's a really hard thing to go through.
exactly, bro. And I saw that in my mum, my aunties. Whether it's alcohol or drugs, it's generational. I believe myself. I don't like put the blame. I never ever put the blame on anyone, but I feel like, and I'll just reiterate, I don't ever want anyone to feel sorry for me. I don't. But if I'm gonna be an open book, I'll talk about it, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I was always behind the ball to the peers, that all my peers at school, right? My mum had me when she was 15.
Yeah.
So when you're a child raising a child, it's going to be harder for that child to progress. I feel, if they're coming from, I'm not going to necessarily say like a good home, but if they've got a stable mum and dad in their life, the one who's born to a child is always going to be a little bit behind, and that's how I felt. But also, it kind of gave me that thought of, whenever I have a kid, I know what I'm going to do different. Um, and drugs and alcohol don't agree with my mind.
Yeah.
My mind races enough from as soon as I wake up to when I go to bed. I don't need to add anything into it.
Yeah.
It's a crazy place, bro. So I am about to be a dad for the first time, bro. In May, man.
Yeah. That's really exciting.
Yeah, bro. So I mean, like I know people say, people say to you, oh, you don't know because you don't have kids, and I understand that concept. I think like a big driving force in my life was my stepdad. So he came into my life when I was 6, and probably all the way up till I was about, he was around. He married my mum, so he was around from when I was 6 until I was about 20,
Yeah.
and then he moved back to New Zealand. Family breakdown, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But in that time, bro, he really kind of like taught me. He never sat me down and was like, "This is how it is." If I was fighting with my brother, um, or anything like that, bro, he would just backhand. Oh,
Yeah.
he just give me like a whack to the head and
Yeah.
go to your room,
Yeah.
or a kick. It is what it is, and it gave me that. I didn't like it then, but when I reflect back on it now, bro, like I see, and you look at kids maybe like 10 years old now. I've heard kids say it, bro. Like, oh, mum won't do that, or dad won't do that. I'll get my phone out and record it. You know,
Yeah.
um,
And
yeah,
it's a whole different
yeah,
world that we live in now. And
exactly.
it's funny that you say that, is
Mm,
because like I don't, yeah, like I
mm.
don't necessarily want to like hit my
Yeah,
children or
yeah,
punish
yeah.
them or whatever, but I often say like my mum was probably the sort of one that would smack me
Oh,
more than
really?
my dad. Yeah, like my dad would give me like a stern talking to.
Yeah,
Like he didn't have to, but like mum would smack me or whatever.
yeah,
And like, and I was a bit of a naughty teenager as well.
yeah, yeah.
And I often say, yeah, mum didn't smack me hard enough when I was a
Yeah.
teenager. Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a few times there where, yeah, they
yeah,
probably
yeah,
should have disciplined me a bit more.
yeah.
But yeah, it's hard seeing kids these days,
Mm,
and they're out stealing, they're out doing all these
mm,
like crazy things from a young age to a lot
mm,
younger, I
for
feel.
sure,
And
for
yeah, they've
sure.
got mobile phones on them. They're
Yeah, bro.
like, they
Yeah.
extremely disrespectful to
Yes.
not only their parents but to
Mm,
like police and to
mm,
people out.
mm,
Yeah,
mm.
that's a whole different.
It's one thing my stepdad instilled in me was, that old school thing of you respect your elders, and if you're not in that conversation, bro, you butt out.
Yeah,
You don't have to listen to it, and I'll carry them values with me into my own parenthood. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's great.
yeah. My real father, top bloke, bro.
Yeah,
Like he's one of my best friends to today. So
yeah,
he was. Yeah, he smacked me once, I think. So
yeah,
but he's just chilled, bro. Like me and him used to fish heaps and yeah, good dude, man.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
love him.
that's awesome.
Yeah, bro,
Yeah,
100%.
having a good relationship with your parents is
Mm, mm,
a huge,
mm. Yeah, for sure.
important part of your life.
100%. I
Yeah,
cherish it. I
yeah,
cherish it. I would yeah, bro. They're very excited for their. Well, it's my dad's second grandchild, but
yeah,
it's his first grandchild through marriage. So this is
yeah,
kind of a first blood grandchild. So,
yeah,
and I'm his only son too, bro. So he's not
yeah,
gonna.
yeah,
Oh, I'm his only blood child. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Didn't. It's a funny thing, bro. I didn't ever think I'd have kids. So
yeah.
yeah.
Are you nervous?
Um. Oh, bro, I've got so many different life factors going on that
Yeah,
make me nervous. But nah,
no,
nah, nah. I'm good, ready to roll.
that's good.
I'm sounds weird, but because it's so close to me having a baby. At this point, myself and the mum, we're not together. But we're hopefully gonna kind of co-parent as best we can, bro. And she needs something. I'm not gonna hesitate to give it. Or if she ever messages me and said, "Hey, I'm exhausted. Can you come and sit with baby?" And she's got a 3-year-old boy too, bro. So
Yeah,
she's gonna need some help. And if she needs it, bro, I'm there.
yeah,
So um, but also before Bub gets here, I'm shooting over to Thailand, bro. So
yeah,
quick little escape over there. Yeah, so
yeah.
it's gonna be fun.
You're gonna have a lot less time to yourself once the baby comes. So
Yeah, that's it, That's it. But gotta I don't know, just wanna experience a different country by myself and you know the I may seem a little bit extroverted at times, but I'm very, very introverted, bro.
yeah,
Especially around a group of people.
yeah,
I can't.
yeah,
I feel maybe like if there's a group of blokes and I've categorized them as maybe like footy boys or some shit, and I'm with them, I
yeah,
feel like I want to be over in the corner and just watch and observe what they do.
yeah,
That's me, but so yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
That's interesting. Yeah, because even I would have thought that, not like that you're extremely
mm,
outgoing, but
mm,
yeah, I wouldn't have thought that you'd be that way. But
introverted,
yeah,
yeah, bro, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
100%. I mean, I can sit here and have a conversation with you, but there's not no one else around here,
yeah,
so it kind of flows pretty easy. But yeah, yeah. I mean, introverted, yes, with some extroverted tendencies, I guess. Just depends. I got an alter ego, bro, called Manic Mike.
yeah,
my, my sister Ivy, she she'll message me to say, "Is Manic Mike out?" I go,
yeah.
"No, not today.
No,
We'll leave him."
we'll even be.
He's the one who makes the money, but bro, so
Yeah,
he comes
yeah,
up with the ideas.
yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Let's talk about new wave support.
yeah, bros.
Yeah,
So, I got into. I was working in retail. So fishing. Shared interest. Me and you have.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at your page the other day. he smokes some good bass.
Yeah.
I won't say where, maybe down chicken farm or something. I don't know.
Nah.
Nah,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I was working in retail. Another friend of mine, he was working at the opposition retail.
Yeah.
And then I started noticing his posts on Instagram were changing a bit. Well, what the hell is he doing? I messaged him and I said, bro, where? I thought you were working at Tackle World. He goes, no, no, I'm out doing support work. It clicked in my head. I was like, oh, cool, man. What is that? He messaged me and he told me, asked who his boss was, and yeah, I messaged his boss, bro, and I just said, hey, look, I'm not like asking you for a job or anything, but what do I need to do? Do I need to study? What do I got to do? And he just gave me this checklist of things to do, and I done it within the week, and I got back to him, and he said meet up with me for a coffee. So yeah, I done that, and he said you got a job. So I started doing support work. I worked for him for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and then I went out on my own, and with my how do I put it, with my wife, who I'm separated from.
Yeah.
We built New Wave together. She done a lot of the admin side of things, and you know, we built that business into to what it is. I was working independently by myself.
Yeah.
And then you've got these people called support coordinators who they dish the work out. I'd filled my book up personally for myself, and then they were reaching out, going, "Oh, you know, I've got a client who, you know, we think is a good fit for your business." And I said, "Well, I don't have any time. How do I do this?" Bang, let's hire a person, and then yeah, it's kind of just flourished from there, bro. I mean, support work is again reflect back on what Sean said. I didn't even know he done support work, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Where'd they go? The Buddhist temple?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How cool, bro. How cool. You know, we get to go fishing and do all that type of stuff. But on the flip side, bro, too, it can be, it's not physically demanding, but mentally it's a lot.
Yeah.
You're constantly putting someone first to make sure their needs are met.
Yeah.
Um, Me, on a personal level, bro, I can't go and paint a door frame. When I got here, I said, are you a painter? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Painter and decorator.
There,
Yeah.
there you go. I said, is that what you do, bro? And you're like, yeah. Did you paint these walls? Yeah, yeah, but don't look at the door frames. I was like, oh, bro, I would not have never have noticed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to go in and do that.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, maybe, well, I do believe you'd probably have the what do I, the empathetic side of your personality. I'd probably be able to do support work. I do believe that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I can't go and put a frame and truss together. Is that what they're called? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't know how to do that, but I know I've got an empathetic personality, and you know, I can do that. So
Yeah.
that's where that's what I've done, and it's given me. I'm making a living off it, and I've got other people who are making a living off it too. I've
Yeah.
been fortunate enough to kick a goal last year. I wanted to buy a car, bro, with 0 Ks, right?
Yeah.
And I did it, you know, and that's off the back of my business. So like again, bro, I'm very very grateful for it.
Yeah.
It's a
It's a pretty incredible thing to be able to do, and something that you've built from the ground up.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, 100%, 100%. We've got some hoodies and merch coming. Nah,
Yeah.
I'll flick them to you.
Yeah. Start wearing them in the podcast.
Yeah, that's
Like,
it, bro.
shout out New Wave.
That's how we do it, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got clients, female, male, from 10 years old all the way up to knocking on 60.
Yeah.
Inside of that, we've got I won't mention names, but we've got 3 siblings to a single mum. She's they're Indigenous, so those 3 kids are. One in particular has formed a pretty close relationship with my mum. So she's non-verbal.
Yeah.
She has behavioural problems.
Yeah.
Her 2 other siblings have less needs, but she's like the most chilled one, bro. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, she's so cool, so easy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I know. We have them next weekend, so we have this thing called a STA, short-term accommodation. So we take them into our care from Friday to Monday morning.
Yeah.
We get an Airbnb. We buy whatever food we want. They get to go do activities, and it's a good thing because their mum, bro, she's a single mum of three with three kids with needs.
Yeah.
She can't afford it, bro.
No way.
No way.
And that'd be extremely challenging on her as well.
Oh, bro, 100%. She does a bloody good job to support her kids, and that's, bruh. I could take her kids and we could get a cabin in a caravan park, and I could make maximum profit
Yeah.
from that. But no, no, I want to give I want to give a good experience. So we get dope Airbnbs with a pool. We've got one. Yeah, like I said, next weekend, and our accommodation's got a pool and it backs onto Lake Illawarra. It's got outdoor barbecue,
Yeah.
big projector in there.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do because they don't get that opportunity. Mum can't give it to them, so we will.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah, bro.
awesome. Not only are you supporting um, these people that are in need, but you're also giving them a great experience, and
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
bro.
was looking on your page,
Yeah.
and you're really adventure based. Like I
Yeah.
see, you're taking out, what would you say, clients?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and they're doing some incredible things with
Yeah.
you, and
Yeah, bro. I've got I've got one fella in particular. I've worked with him maybe like 4 or 5 years. So I've watched him progress from, a teenage boy. Physically, he didn't look like a teenage boy, but I've watched him grow into a young man.
yeah,
Myself and him have had some adventures together. We've been to Canberra. We've been to the Goldie, bro. I'll tell you a story about when we went to the Goldie. So not. Please don't take that as like I'm laughing at him at all. His mum and dad, we had a good laugh together about it.
yeah,
So we went to the Goldie, bro. And what do you do when you're on the Goldie? You go to movie world, right?
yeah,
So he's got a bit of like a weakness in his muscle and balance.
yeah,
Um, so he falls a bit, and he always says he falls over. He's like, I'm okay, I'm just testing how comfortable the ground is. Sweet, bro, you're good. Dust yourself off. So we get in there into the Goldie movie world, and we line up for the Superman, bro. And, we get on, and it goes through. It goes through the little area. Have you ever been on the Superman?
I think I have when I was younger, but
Yeah.
yeah, I can't really remember it. But
It kind of like takes you through like a subway, and there's been an earthquake and all that.
yeah,
And then it shoots you. I don't know. It shoots you from 0 to 100 in like some crazy amount of time.
yep,
Bro, it shot us out and we went up. And all I remember is him being like, Jai, I don't want to be on here. And I'm like, bro, it's too late
too
now.
late for that.
G-force pushes you back.
Yeah,
Bro, I'm looking at him, and I'll just push this forward. I'm looking at him and I'm like, fuck. He was like, he could not like get out of like that position. Like he was like stuck like this. And I just was like, oh, fuck. Like,
yeah,
I was just trying to like get his head
hold
back.
him back.
Yeah. I would have thought the opposite. It was
Yeah.
going to do the opposite, but like I thought it would have pinned him.
Yeah.
It didn't. It pushed him forward,
Oh
bro.
no.
So I got the photo at home. I've got the photo. It's
Yeah.
a cracker, bro.
Yeah.
It's a cracker.
Does he laugh about it now, like afterwards, or was
Yeah.
he hating it in the moment?
He was more not terrified. I haven't like scarred him, but he was like, fuck, that was heavy, that. I'm not
Yeah.
doing that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he laughs about it. He's a bit of a cheeky boy, bro. So
Yeah.
he dishes it out, but he takes it too. So
No, that's good.
yeah, Goldie. We've been to the Goldie with him, Canberra, Darwin. Went on a cruise with him up to
Yeah.
Morton Island and back.
Yeah.
It was so sick. We've ventured together, eh? So
Yeah.
they've the NDIS and the government has really kind of like cut down on I mean I get it. There's a lot of people. I don't want to categorize anyone, but you see on the news like Western Sydney or whatever, it always seems to be scams coming out from
Yeah.
that type of area, right? So the NDIS has really cut down on that STA stuff. You can't go on a cruise anymore, so whenever we got to do it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty hectic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because there's been a few people that have spoiled the
Mm,
fun for others that are in need, that need these experiences, because if
exactly.
it wasn't for people like yourself,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
they're not going to get to do that.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Our our kind of like 12-month business plan is to push from the Shellhaven up into the Illawarra,
Yep.
and the universe will take care of it, bro. You asked me before, do you manifest? And I said to you, yeah, bro. But I kind of just I'm pivoting off like the whole work thing, but I don't believe in God. I look at, how do I put it? Like, I'll say, not openly, I'll just say in my mind, like, far out. Like, so I'll go back to the work thing, right? We have a new client who come in. His mum was specific. I need, a Polynesian appearing man,
Yep.
or he needs to be Polynesian because my son reacts in a positive way to that Polynesian looking. His dad's Tongan, so
Yeah. Okay.
you get what I mean.
Yeah,
Hey,
more of like a family type.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly, bro. So I put an expression of interest up on my Instagram, Facebook. Send me your resume, job advertisement, and I was getting a lot of interest in it, but nothing to meet that criteria. We went and met the family on a Thursday. We spent maybe an hour and a half there. Beautiful. We're going to take this kid on. I just got to find the right person, and universe will take care of it, bro. Opened me. Honestly, it's trippy because I jumped back in my car, turned it on, put the aircon on, opened my email, and there was an email in there, and it was like, I looked at the name first and the last name, and I went, holy, this is the universe taking care of it. This
Yeah.
is a 28-year-old man who ticks every single thing that I need. And it just so happened that we left that house. And again, bro, it's that, you put your problems out to the universe and take care of it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. What's your
No,
stance
that's
on that?
awesome. On manifesting is,
Yeah.
well, I've only sort of recently been diving into it a little bit, but it does seem, the more that I think about it, the more that I write it down, the more that I'm vocal about it,
Mm.
I'm attracting
Yeah.
these things. And
Yeah. So sick.
yeah, I don't want to dive into it too
Yeah.
much, like what I do, but
Don't want to
I
jinx it,
think,
eh?
I think about it, and I do write it down.
Exactly.
And
Perfect.
yeah, I think there's no harm.
No.
There's no harm in doing it.
No.
So yeah,
Mm. Mm.
being vocal about it, and
Mm.
all
Mm.
the rest is
100.
a good thing.
100.
But you also need to be putting
What?
the steps in
Yeah,
place
100.
towards it.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
You can't just say, I want a
Mm.
new house, and
Mm.
you just sit back and be like,
Exactly.
wait for the house to appear in front of you. It's not like that. It's not like
Exactly.
a crystal ball.
Yeah.
And
I want $1 million. It's
yeah,
not going to happen.
and then it just lands in your bank account.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I just feel it's, if you take the steps in
Yeah.
the right direction, you put in the work, you also be vocal about what you want,
Mm.
you write down what you want,
Exactly.
I feel like it is more likely that
It's going to
it's
happen.
going to happen.
Yeah. I want $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Say that to the universe. Not really, but like, put it this way. I want $1 million one day. Okay, so here's that guy who's going to be perfect fit for this client. That's going to push you one step further to having that $1 million one
Yeah.
day, bro. And that's what it is, bro. That's
Yeah.
what it is. So, yeah, it's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing.
Do you feel everything happens for a reason?
Yes, sir. I do. It's yes, I do.
So
100%.
it's hard feeling that way, and then also sometimes you'll be like, well, okay, yeah, everything happens for a reason,
Yep.
but then you get extremely tested or
Mm,
you have
mm,
to go through something really hard.
mm. I think like um, looking back at past relationships, right? A lot of like I've mentioned, so it's a complex situation, right? Because I've said, I'm separated, I'm married, but we're currently separated, but there's a kid on the way. So what happened there, bro, was um, I, again, I felt, you know, towards the end of my marriage, right, I felt like I had missed out on a lot of things in my life. My in my teen years, I didn't, really get to go out and I'm grateful I didn't, but I didn't get to go out and drink and necessarily experience what I thought was typical normal things to do. And it just got to a point towards the end of my marriage where I was like, oh, I've got this burning thing that I can't control. That yeah, it was a funny thing, bro, and it was such a hard conversation to have with your wife that
Yeah,
um it's not that I'm not happy with you as a person. It's just like I have so many unfulfilled things. So it
yeah.
was such a crazy thing. So yeah.
Did do you feel that your wife might have felt a similar way as well?
Mm, like as in no, I think the way she definitely noticed. So the thing like touched on social media, right? The thing with social media is it can be a positive thing,
Yeah,
can be a negative thing. When I lost a lot of weight and then I started juicing and I was looking big and I was putting that stuff on my story,
yeah.
I was getting a lot of validation from people you shouldn't necessarily get it from when you're in a
A
relationship
relationship.
or
Okay.
you're married, bro.
Yeah,
And it started to feed a monster inside of myself.
yeah,
And that's what fed that feeling of, oh, fuck, I've missed so much.
yeah,
And I reflect back on that and I go, you're an idiot. like,
yeah,
but I won't sit here and I won't dwell on it. It's not going to define who I am. I try and be as transparent with things that I can be now. Yeah, I just know like I will set boundaries now and I won't. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So yeah, it was a hard thing, bro. It was a hard
yeah,
thing. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's quite a complex
yeah,
situation.
yeah, yeah. Exactly,
Um,
bro. Exactly.
you can only build on yourself
Yeah.
now and I feel if you learn from mistakes
Mm,
and past problems,
mm.
then it's not always necessarily a bad thing
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
because no one's perfect
Yeah,
and we all do make mistakes.
yeah. Exactly, brother.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah,
Daily.
yeah,
I think I ran a red light on the way here. Mistake. Nah.
yeah, yeah. It is. It
yeah.
is a yeah. We all
Mm.
make mistakes.
Uh, um, Myself and you had a pretty cool combo on the phone the other day. We almost could have recorded a podcast
I
then,
know.
hey, bro?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It was funny. It was the first time I'd ever spoken to you on the phone. I was like, oh, we'll just have a quick chat, just talk about the podcast.
yeah,
And we're on the phone for like 40
yeah.
minutes.
We were, hey,
Yeah, yeah,
we were. Yeah, it's so cool.
yeah.
It's so cool, bro. So yes, 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 yes.
No, I just want to touch on quickly as well with
Mm.
new wave support.
Yeah.
So you said for like you mentioned your goals for the next 12 months
Yep.
and where else do you see new wave support going? Do you feel you want to keep it like a small business? Do you want to
Mm.
build it into something
Mm.
incredible, like
Um.
say
Mm.
lots of employees, all like-minded employees?
Yep.
Um,
Yep. I want to build it to a point where I don't necessarily lose contact with the clients. I still
okay.
want to have a face to them.
Yeah.
I've noticed with me hiring people, we've had a bit of, is it adversity, or maybe the clients want to see me,
They want you.
they want me.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, at times I can't be in two places at the
at the
same
same time.
time, right? So what I've done is I've hired people, and we're still delivering that service. But in short, bro, yes, I wanna build it to. I wanna have maybe like a lawn mowing section of it, a cleaning section, but not lose that foundation of care, bro. The number one thing to me is care for our people, because if you can't do that, then you know you're not going to have a future in this type of thing. I just yeah, I always want to be like 12. I want to be a different version from 12 months ago, and if I can do that, sick. I
Yeah,
love it. I love it. But yeah, we're providing, and we're paying bills, and we're paying wages, so we're good, bro.
that's a good
We're
thing.
good. Yeah, 100%.
We'll have to connect in the near future
Yeah,
and talk about.
keep
Yeah,
me accountable, man. Keep
yeah,
me
I will.
accountable. Yeah, hundred
When
percent.
there's a lot of big things coming for you
Yep.
in the near future.
Yep.
You know, you're
Yeah.
expecting a child, your
Yeah.
business is growing.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see
The growth.
where you're at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. 100%. I can I ask you a question, bro?
sure
Is
can.
it? It might be. I don't know if it's going to be too early for this question, but again, we did speak on the phone, right, the other
Yeah,
day, and I asked you a question. Do you remember what that was at all?
yeah.
Yeah,
If I could go out for dinner with three people, any
yeah,
people,
yeah.
if they're
Dead or
dead or
alive,
alive,
famous, whoever.
yeah,
Did you come up with anything?
that is like, see, when someone asks me a question like this, I
Yeah.
think about it quite deeply,
Mm.
and I'm I know for a fact that it has to be my grandma
Mm.
who's not here anymore.
Mm.
That
Mm.
has to be one spot.
Yeah.
I miss my grandma more than anything in the
Wow.
whole world.
Yeah, bro.
Um,
I see that.
yeah, and the second spot has to be Dana. She
Yeah.
is everything to me.
Yeah. Amazing. Oh,
Um,
bro.
and yeah, it's hard to even talk about. Like
Yeah,
when
bro.
yeah, I feel and think so deeply. So
Yes.
the third spot has to be my daughter.
Yeah, mad, bro.
Yeah,
There you go.
and yeah, I've got a lot of idols in my life. I have
Mm.
people that I look up to, famous people. Um,
Good man.
yeah, and
Amazing.
the problem is I look up to these people, but I don't know who they are.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
people that I've chosen are my family and my loved ones, and who I hold dearest to my heart. So
So good, bro. So good.
yeah,
100%. 100%.
who would your three people be?
Yeah. So like the first one is like I kind of based it off. Um, I want to surround myself with like-minded people or people better than me. Not better than, but people you can aspire to be, right? So if you hang around smart people, chances are you're going to get smarter, right?
Yep,
So there's a guy named he has a podcast called Ice Project,
yep,
and he was an NRL player. He'll openly admit that he wasn't the greatest NRL player. He's probably got more influence now after his NRL career. So what he's done is built a brand called You Know the Rules, um, and his two other friends invested in it. They were NRL players. So his ultimate goal was after footy, we've got this to fall back on. He's kind of like he's an influencer, he's a mentor, he's a business owner. So I'd have him.
yep,
And then my second one would be my nanny Judy, bro. She passed when I was 8, so I think like she was crazy, bro. She was hectic,
yeah,
like I said, like drugs and alcohol. I remember. Do you know where IGA is in Coonawarra?
yep,
Yeah, so that used to be called Jules. I remember being there one day, bro, and she had like a big black bag on her shoulder, and we walk in there and we go. All I remember is her putting like frozen chickens in the bag, and then we walked out, and I was like, "Fuck, hectic."
You're like, this is wild.
Yeah, this is wild. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was just crazy, bro. But she did what she could to survive, right?
Yeah.
And that's what she was doing there, bro. She was surviving. So I would have her, bro, because like I said, I was 8 when she was passed, bro. But I'd love for her to see me as the man I am. She'd be proud, bro. So, and then the third one would be my mum. So my mum could spend that time with my nanny Judy, bro. She's still to this very point right now is grieving the loss of her, bro. And
Yeah.
yeah. So
It's really hard to
yeah,
deal with the loss of loved ones. And
yeah, bro.
yeah,
100%. 1998, she died. And yeah, bro. So my mum still to this very day is like, she doesn't define her day, but if we talk about it, she's
it's
like,
hard.
miss my sister, my mum. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love for my mum to have that opportunity to spend the night and have dinner with her, bro, and
Yeah.
to win for everyone. I'm getting smarter. I'm seeing my nan, and my mum's happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, for sure, bro, for sure.
Um, that brings us to the end of the podcast
Yeah.
where I ask everyone who comes on
Yes.
the same question,
Mm-hmm.
and that is, what is your favorite quote or piece of advice?
Mm-hmm. So my mind isn't very good at retaining like lyrics or quotes. I just like a piece of advice is I don't know, bro, just like slow down and have empathy for your fellow man. Have a conversation with people, bro. I'll be really quick here, man. I was at the gym one day and I was feeling so shit, bro, so flat, and I just wanted someone to reach out to me and say, "You're right."
You're doing okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No one did. So I took that initiative and I went to one of the trainers there who I look up to, Dave. Like he what would he do? I'm pretty sure he's like ex special services, right?
Yep.
Cool dude. Look up to him, man. And I reached out to him. I said, "Bro, like I'm feeling pretty shit. Like I need to talk. Can you talk to me after your client?" He said, "Yeah, give me 10 minutes and we'll go out the front." Um, so we went out and I pretty much unloaded all my problems, and he took it and he didn't give me advice. He just, reassured me that it's okay to feel that way. At the end of that conversation, bro, he looked at me and it was such a powerful thing, bro. He looked at me, well, he said to me, "Jai, look me in the eyes." And I did. And he said, "I love you." And I went, "Oh, shit." Like
Yeah.
it took me to tears, bro. Don't ever be scared to look your friend or someone in the eyes and tell him you love them, bro, because it's such a powerful thing, bro.
Yeah,
It is.
it is.
It is. So that's my thing, bros.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
great. It is an extremely powerful thing.
It is.
People want to feel known and feel loved and
Yeah, bro.
know that someone is
100,
there for them. And
100.
I say that as well.
Yeah.
Even yourself, like if you
Yeah.
ever need to have a chat or
100%,
or
bro.
anybody,
100.
I'm always here to have a chat.
Thank you, my man.
I know what it's like to go through hard times and
Yes.
challenging times, and
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We just use that word grateful, bro.
yeah,
Grateful.
I'm extremely grateful to be here. I'm
Yes,
extremely grateful to have you on my podcast today.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, brother.